I'm Richard Blake from United MMA. What we're going to be doing today is some warm-up drills followed by some technique work. In that technique work, we'll focus on some of the more intricate parts and we'll get this underway. So, in today's warm-up, we're going to be focusing on skipping, push-ups, sit-ups, and tricep dips. Recommended for experienced students, we're going to repeat this at least 3 times. For beginners, it's as you feel you can cope with it. So to begin with, maybe for your first time, do it once through. Okay, so the techniques that we're just about to work through, I'd recommend going through at least 10 times on each side, left and right. Okay, so the first thing we're going to learn is a jab cross, uppercut cross. So as you're doing this, again, like I mentioned in our first video, our stance is important. We want the feet apart. We're about a shoulder width apart, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and we want no weight in that back heel. After we've done and we've checked our stance from the previous video, we're going to move into our technique. So, firstly, jab, cross, uppercut, cross. We've got the lead hand throwing out the jab. Now, really important here is we don't want to have a straight or locked elbow. If we've got a locked elbow, you're going to start to cause some damage. We don't want that. We want it to be just off lock. Okay? Now, next, so we've got that jab, cross, same thing, we're not locking that elbow and we're keeping that shoulder up, guarding that side of our face. On our uppercut, we're going to bend the knees and we're going to shoot like a piston straight up. Now from here, what you'll note is it hasn't been a swing. We don't want to have this loop. That loop, it exposes our chin way before that punch would ever get to our target. Okay, so from that uppercut, we're going to throw the cross. You'll notice as I throw it, I'm going to replace where this hand is to the side of the jaw, repeating the second punch that we threw. So, all together, jab, cross, uppercut, cross. That's the first one. And now for our second technique. This one we're going to throw a jab, cross, knee. So, just like we did previously, we're going to throw the jab, we're getting that hand up, we're not at full lock, cross, rear hand, shoulder up. Now, this hand comes to join the other, we're throwing the rear knee up and back down. So this is also a good balance and good balancing practice. So, once again, we're going to throw, jab, avoiding that lock, cross, avoiding the locked elbow and keeping the chin under the shoulder, both hands out, and we're going to extend the knee, keeping our balance, and back down to your start position. Okay, one time in full, jab, cross, pull. Okay, now we're going to be throwing a inside thigh kick followed by a jab, cross, and a round kick at the end. So, again, we're going to start with the same stance that we've been working with. Hands are up. Now to throw the inside thigh kick, we're transferring our weight to our rear leg. We're lifting the lead and we're aiming towards the inside of a thigh. So it's just up, twist, back down to your start point. So what we're doing here, that weight transfer, throw the kick, back down. As soon as you've planted that foot, so we've come down, foot's planted, we're going to be throwing jab. So that jab, once again, we're keeping it off lock, we're keeping the chin in. Cross, again, keeping the chin under the shoulder. Now, we're going to throw the rear leg, we're going to pivot our front foot to face the same direction that the kick's traveling. As we do that, we're going to turn, knee up, extend out, back, and down. So, once again, inside thigh, transferring that weight. jab, keeping that arm off lock, cross, arm off lock, and round kick, accentuating that pivot, throwing the kick, back and down. Okay, now we're going to go through the front kick. This time I'm going to switch to my other leg. So I'm going to be throwing straight forward so you can see a bit better the footwork. Now, as I'm standing, same stance that we've been working on, I'm going to lift my rear knee. Again, we're holding that balance. You should be able to hold this without falling forward. So, once we throw, we're bringing up, pull back the toes, kick out, extend, back and down. Nice, sharp and clean technique every time. So, once again, what we're trying to avoid is that overreach. You don't want to throw that leg and lurch forward. So if I've got my hands up and I've thrown my kick and I've done it without balance, I land forward, I get hit. So that's what we want to avoid. So one more time, knee up, feet out, back and down. All right, now, last one we're going to do is a round kick. So, starting off with our solid stance that we've been working on the whole time, we're going to have our hands up, where knees are bent. We're going to elevate the knee, just like we did with the front kick. Now, we're going to have a pivot on that lead leg. As we pivot, we're turning our angle on our knee, extending out the leg, back, and back to our start point. So, once again, elevate that knee, pivot, throw the kick, back to a start point, and down. When you're angling this kick, especially if you're doing it on a target, how you angle your shin is going to determine where you're striking. A downward angle, we're really carving into that thigh. An upward angle, we're probably going to be aiming into the ribs or higher. If we're flexible enough, we can go over the shoulder. But that's again down to each individual's flexibility. So this is just a few techniques to tide you through this time. And if you liked what we've put out today, let us know. We might be able to put out some more content. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.